Two male students were going at it on the rooftop. A rich young master happened to walk by and saw them, but the rich young master didn't run away in disgust. Instead, he hid behind the wall and watched. The black-haired guy's lips looked so red. They reminded him of sweet cake. He suddenly wanted a taste. When he realized what he was thinking, his heart jumped, but mostly he felt curious. So after finding out the black-haired guy would be playing basketball at noon, he found a shady spot near the court and sat down. A few minutes later, a pair of hands landed on his shoulder. Our class is on the next court over. Why are you sitting here watching the game? Fang Xiao patted Lu Linyuan on the shoulder. Luo Linyuan ignored him and shoved Fang Xiao's hand away. Fang Xiao didn't get mad. He was used to Luo Linyuan's bratty attitude. Fang Xiao looked toward the court. He only saw one person they knew, Yu Han. Since when do you care about Yu Han? Did he steal your girlfriend? Luo Linyuan was sweating from the heat. He said weakly, no. Just bored watching. The way Luo Linyuan stared at Yu Han made Fang Xiao laugh. It looked like a little husky glaring at a mastiff, ready to bite any second. But that mastiff didn't even notice him. He really couldn't figure out why Luo Linyuan would come watch Yu Han. These two came from completely different worlds. Luo Linyuan was born rich, pampered since birth. His temper was spoiled rotten. He'd been sickly since childhood, always getting sick. So the guys all called him Little Princess Luo behind his back. The girls called him Little Prince Luo. Compared to him, Yu Han was a real fallen prince. Raised by his grandma, who got sick recently and was still in the hospital, while Yu Han attended class during the day and took leave at night to stay with her. Even so, he ranked in the top 3 of their grade. Handsome, smart, and with a sad backstory. Lots of girls felt sorry for Yu Han. Some brought him food, others raised money for him. Yu Han thanked them and accepted everything, saying he'd pay them back someday. Thinking about this, Fang Xiao squeezed Luo Linyuan's neck. Yu Han's family is broke. How does he have time to play ball? Little Princess Lu slapped Fang Xiao's hand away. Maybe he gets paid for winning games. Fang Xiao gasped and looked at Little Princess Luo in disbelief. Did the sun rise in the west? You're actually gossiping about someone. Little Princess Luo coughed guiltily. I just overheard it. Little Princess Luo wanted to keep watching Yu Han, but this weak body couldn't take it. He was already feeling dizzy. He got up and hopped down the steps. Before leaving, he took one last look at the court. Yu Han lifted his shirt to wipe sweat, showing off 9 shiny abs. Their eyes met. Yu Han froze for a second, then smiled politely at Luo Linyuan. But Little Princess Luo frowned. He was a total germaphobe. Wiping sweat with your shirt like that. He thought it was disgusting. He ignored Yu Han and turned to Fang Xiao, still on the steps, saying regally, let's go. In the classroom, a guy with glasses seemed to be fixing his hair with a mirror. Suddenly, the mirror was slammed on the desk. I don't like people perving on my girlfriend. Don't let it happen again. Luo Linyuan threw the mirror on the floor. The guy nodded awkwardly. Xiaofu's heart melted watching this. She happily hugged Luo Linyuan's arm and acted cute. I've been waiting forever. Where were you? Luo Linyuan ignored her. Xiaofu couldn't stand being ignored. She plopped right onto Luo Linyuan's lap. Get off, Luo Linyuan said coldly. Xiaofu cat's attitude. No way, I don't have anywhere to fit. I said get off. Luo Linyuan raised his voice. Xiaofu felt humiliated. She jumped up and ran back to her classroom. Fang Xiao watched Xiaofu leave, looking worried. Not going after her. Luo Linyuan played with his phone, without looking up. Nope. He scrawled aimlessly, but his mind drifted back to Yu Han's lips. He didn't get why Yu Han was kissing that guy. Guys have stubble on their chins. Wouldn't that hurt rubbing together? And Yu Han wiped sweat with his shirt. Just thinking about it was gross. Did that guy actually like Yu Han all sweaty and dirty? Thinking about this, Luo Linyuan suddenly buried his face in his arms. His ears turned on. He felt so stupid. After school, he went to Yu Han's classroom. Yu Han and Xiaofu were in the same class. When Xiaofu saw Luo Linyuan, she thought he came to make up. She quickly pulled out her mirror to touch up her makeup, then sat there all high and mighty waiting for Luo Linyuan. But Luo Linyuan walked straight to the white-haired guy. He picked up the guy's textbook and glanced at it. Your name's Ren Yu. Ren Yu looked up at Luo Linyuan and nodded, stunned. Can I help you? I just stared at Ren Yu without saying anything. He didn't expect to see the other guy from the rooftop make-out session here. The bratty young master gets hit on by a man at a bar. The bartender comes to the rescue. Luo Linyuan thought wickedly that these two's names were a perfect match. One named Ren Yu, one named Yu Han. Their ship name could be stupid. He was enjoying his petty thoughts when his brain suddenly short-circuited. He forgot why he came to class 10. Then Xiaofu grabbed his wrist from behind, fuming. That's when he remembered he came to make up with his girlfriend. He quickly held a candy up to Xiaofu's mouth. When she didn't take it, he unwrapped it and popped it in her mouth. Xiaofu blushed and smiled at Luo Linyuan. Then someone tapped Luo Linyuan on the shoulder. He turned around and saw Yu Han, standing there after his game, smiling. Hey, let me through. Luo Linyuan's brain went blank. He just stood there frozen. Xiaofu quickly pulled Luo Linyuan aside. She was about to ask what was wrong when she noticed something shocking. Luo Linyuan, who never smiled at her, was actually blushing. Luo Linyuan's head was full of Yu Han's words, let me in. He thought Yu Han was definitely gay. Even asking to get through a door sounded dirty. That night, Luo Linyuan went to a bar with Fang Xiao and the others. In the car, the driver warned them not to go to Blue Note. That bar was all guys. After hearing that, Luo Linyuan's mind started wandering. When the car stopped, he didn't even wait for Xiaofu. He headed straight to the bar street by himself. He stopped not far from Blue Note. He figured Yu Han would love this kind of bar. But he had to take care of his grandma at night, so he shouldn't have time. But the person he thought wouldn't come walked right into Blue Note the next second. He was about to follow when Xiaofu caught up and grabbed his arm. That's not the bar we're going to. Luo Linyuan ignored Xiaofu. His lips pressed tight. He thought Yu Han wasn't satisfied with just the guys at school. Now he's hunting at bars too. He let Xiaofu drag him to the planned bar in a daze. But he didn't like the vibe. And he wouldn't touch the glasses there. Too dirty. Shifu noticed lots of people staring at Luo Linyuan. She got jealous. She made up an excuse about a curfew and asked Luo Linyuan to take her home. Luo Linyuan said goodbye to his friends and left with Xiaofu. After putting Xiaofu in a car, he somehow ended up in front of Blue Note. He stood there hesitating, too scared to go. But then he thought, if Yuhan dared to go, why couldn't he? He bit down and walked in. The second he walked in, several guys' eyes landed on him. The attention annoyed him. He scanned the customers but didn't see Yuhan. He thought Yuhan was staying out of trouble after all. Then reality hit him fast. He spotted Yuhan at the bar. Yuhan was making a drink for a customer. Luo Linyuan scoffed and strutted over to the bar. Buy me a drink. He thought Yuhan would panic seeing him there. Instead, Yuhan calmly asked for his AD. What the heck? Isn't he the same age as me? Then the man put his hand on Luo Linyuan's shoulder. Little guy, you're too young to drink. Luo Linyuan frowned. Get your dirty hands off me. The man didn't get mad. He leaned in and sniffed Luo Linyuan's neck. Young people smell so good. Luo Linyuan freaked out and jumped back like he'd been electrocuted. Then the man walked over and took off his hat. You. Luo Linyuan had never met such a bold creep. His face was full of panic. The man was amused by Luo Linyuan's reaction and was about to move closer when a pair of hands pressed down on his shoulders. Yuhan pushed the man back into his seat. He's too young. Find someone else. But the man smiled and put his hand on Yuhan's. Actually, I like your type better. Luo Linyuan immediately grabbed the man's wandering hand, then shoved it away hard. The man suddenly got it and burst out laughing. Oh, so you two are a couple. Luo Linyuan's face turned red with anger. He wanted to punch someone. Then Yuhan asked what he wanted to drink. Luo Linyuan got even madder. He couldn't understand how Yuhan could like nothing happened after being groped. Still asking, what if he wanted to drink? Drink you? Is Yuhan really that desperate for money? Then the manager came over. Someone from the band didn't show, so he asked Yuhan to fill it. Yuhan nodded, bit his glove, and pulled it off smoothly. He looked really hot doing it. Luo Linyuan's face got a little red. Before leaving, Yuhan pushed a glass of milk in front of Luo Linyuan. Drink it and leave. Luo Linyuan laughed at the milk. Was this supposed to be an insult? Yuhan wanted to give Luo Linyuan a warning, but ended up having to give him his own clothes, and even had to help him change. Yuhan sat at the piano and loosened his cuffs. When his fingers touched the keys, soft, beautiful music began to play. Luo Linyuan kind of understood why everyone called Yuhan the Fallen Prince. Right now, Yuhan seemed to glow, drawing everyone's attention. Linyuan stared at Yuhan mesmerized. He noticed Yuhan had really long lashes, so when Renyu and Yuhan were kissing, did their faces tickle? Would those long lashes scratch them? The milk in his hand smelled good. Luo Linyuan kept thinking while drinking it without realizing. When he snapped out of it, only half the milk was left. He couldn't accept that he'd used a public bar glass. He grabbed napkins and wiped his mouth like crazy, then rushed out of the bar. He needed to buy water to rinse his mouth, but after a few steps he stopped. The night breeze cleared his head a bit. Why did he even come to Blue Note? Was it to find Yuhan? But Yuhan looked at him like he was just some random classmate. But to Yuhan, wasn't he just a random classmate? He was the only one paying attention to Yuhan. Even if he'd seen Yuhan kissing someone and knew he worked at a bar, they barely knew each other. He just purposely tried to cause trouble for Yuhan, but Yuhan still didn't care about it. Then the bar door opened behind him. Luo Linyuan saw Yuhan walk out. Where are you going? Yuhan ignored him and kept walking. Luo Linyuan followed right behind Yuhan. Those Ren, you know you work here. Yuhan stopped walking immediately. He turned to Luo Linyuan and said, follow me. Luo Linyuan smirked. Now Yuhan had to pay attention to him. He followed Yuhan to a damp alley. Suddenly Yuhan turned and grabbed his collar. He slammed him against the hard wall. Luo Linyuan yelped pathetically. He almost cried. Yuhan loosened his grip a bit. Does it hurt that bad? Right after, Luo Linyuan started flailing around. It's dirty, so dirty. My back's gonna rot from how filthy this is. Yuhan was speechless. He looked at Luo Linyuan dangerously. You better not talk. Renyu has nothing to do with this. Luo Linyuan didn't care about any of that right now. He just wanted to get away from this filthy wall. He pitifully begged Yuhan to take off his shirt and give it to him. Yuhan thought he heard wrong. When Yuhan didn't move, Luo Linyuan had a meltdown. Take off your shirt and give it to me. Yuhan backed up a few steps, looking awkward. Actually, I'm not into you. Before he could finish, little Princess Lu was already jumping up and down in anger. Hurry up. My back's gonna rot off. Change my shirt now, or I won't say a word. Yuhan got it. He took off his shirt and held it out to Luo Linyuan. But Luo Linyuan didn't take it. He raised both hands like he was helpless and ordered, help me change. I don't want to touch that shirt. Yuhan held back the urge to punch him and help Luo Linyuan.